Alright, now I need to start etching, which means scratching into the surface of my Scratchboard. And I have a couple of different kinds of tools that you can use for that. I have 2 scratch knives, and on the point of my scratch knife, this one is straight, this one has a curved edge. Either one will work fine. You can also use a scratch tool made out of wood. You can buy these, or you could just get a dowel rod and put it in a pencil sharpener and make an edge like that. Either way is fine. So when I start, what you want to do is pull this down towards you. Don't try to push up away from you. If you try to push up away from you, it tends to skip. You don't want to push so hard that you're going to rip through the black and through the gold and hit the white underneath. You want to just scratch it gently so that you reveal the gold underneath. And I'm holding my scratch tool slightly to the side. I'm not holding it directly up and down like that and doing with just the point. I'm holding it off to the side, so I'm kind of scratching with the side of the tool rather than the very tip. I'm turning this as I go. You might be thinking, well, why don't you take off the paper from the back? Why did you leave that on there? And the reason is, sometimes as you work, you might end up accidentally rubbing off a part. So if I accidentally rubbed this part off and I couldn't see it anymore to scratch off the surface, it's very easy to just put this back down and just go over that area again and put it back. As long as you have that paper still on there, you can do that. If you take the paper off, you will never get it lined up perfectly again. So I can just put my lines back on. You can just lift it up, put it down until you're sure that you've redrawn everything, and put it right back. So I'm going to continue then. I always want to pull it towards me or towards the left. I don't want to go backwards. If I try to go backwards, it tends to skip. So feel free to turn the Scratchboard to where you can comfortably work with it. If you want to use this tool, some people prefer this tool for scratching. They might find that it's easier for scratching off larger areas. So for instance, if I want to scratch off this entire area here, scratching with the wooden tool might be easier. You can experiment with the two of them and use whatever feels more comfortable for you. So I like to use this one, so I'm going to go back to that. Notice I'm not going back and forth, I'm going one direction. You can always go back over your edges, make your edges look really nice. I'm being very careful not to scratch too hard. I want the gold to show. I don't want to scratch through and have the white underneath show through. I also want these to be thick enough that they're going to be able to be seen easily. So once I go over them once, sometimes you need to go back over them again to make them look a little neater or to make them a little bit wider. Alright, and there I have my cartouche. Okay, here's a couple other ones that I've done. Just got them started. These ones, you notice that I have some lines that go across. So you could either do your cartouche and just have it plain like that, maybe scratch off the gold around it, or you could put designs on the outside. So for instance, if I wanted to maybe scratch off the corners, patterns and designs. If you want, you can even use a ruler to help you. And then you can fill in those lines with different kinds of designs. For instance, here I have crisscross lines, I have diagonal lines, I have some dots, I have wavy lines. So you could break up the background to make it a little bit more interesting by adding all different kinds of lines and designs. And I think those horizontal lines just kind of help you keep that straight in the background. Alright, so I could go ahead and finish this. When I'm done and I'm all completely finished with everything and I know that I don't need this anymore, then this can be removed. And you don't really need this anymore. This is what we actually need. And you can use it as is, or you can mount it to a background. For this one, I've drawn some different Egyptian symbols around the outer edge of it, just to kind of decorate it up a little bit more. So at this time, I'm going to let you try it.